First, the headlines. Shocking that Congress party is being blamed for Manipur conflict, says MPCC President K. Meghachandra. As the long-awaited Ningol Chakoba approaches, women in relief camps are filled with sadness and regret. And Fisheries Director urges public to choose local fish over hazardous imports to support farmers. Hello everyone, once again welcome back to Pm-Istv English News at this hour. Now let's see the news in detail. MPCC President K. Meghachandra stated that the claim that as MLAs are suspended and PR is imposed, the MLA have no rights to form a government is undermining of democracy and a violation of democracy and constitutional values. He further asserted that blaming the Congress party for the current crisis is shocking. He pointed out that the public is fully aware of who is accountable for the crisis in Manipur. He said that the crisis could be resolved within an hour. However, the inability to bring solution till that is the direct outcome of leadership failure. Meghachandra also raised concern over the misuse of funds allotted for internally displaced persons. He emphasized that the government must genuinely understand the suffering of IDPs and take appropriate action rather than misusing the funds meant for their relief. He alleged that the government is engaging in the heroic instead of real work, while the public continues to suffer, and added that let the people make the decision.
Law and order ngakpa ngamdra huji laidiba law and order ngakpa natraga ngaktabase masi Congress na tawrinin haiba laidiba members singna sarkar semba ngambagi sakti laitraga president rule lay aduna sarkar semba ngamdabani haibasi su yam laibak thibani lairiba constitution de piriba magi hak singdo madu sinaba ngamdaba aduga yamna dignity adagi magi sakti mayam singadu lan uhanba ama thoi popular government semani aduga amuk halaga handak semdrabati resign tawrone mo hai amuk halaga president ru leibani na sarkar sem jadre hai basi choiron noina praja singna lawni ni khali aduna maram warkanda masi angakpa phawi prajada tagi press ta kaida hairuitebni haini khali.
As the long-awaited Ningol Chakoba festival approaches in Manipur, a time traditionally filled with joy and reunion, many women living in relief camps are overwhelmed with sorrow and longing. Instead of celebrating with their families, these women find themselves confined within the camps for 2 years and 5 months now, unable to partake in the festivities. Their hearts are heavy with regret and sadness during this special occasion. Here is a report.
Ningol Chakoba is a very important and significant festival which is celebrated annually on the second day of lunar month Hyanggai. This year's Ningol Chakoba is also on 23rd of this month. Many peoples are ready to celebrate this Ningol Chakoba with much gusto, but let us see how do IDPs, brothers and sisters who have been staying in relief camp for about 2 years and 5 months feel with the advent of Ningol Chakoba with a special ISTV report from the field.
Pinga ta pokon ni na khoi di chakobi na bak laite duga isina pom san ba yai ma da handa hat etek ta laite dana karai de chako no khoi ni yimbo su laitra kan ti da si ga jahi au mai la ka dore isa jing ju ko phangde ada ya khoi su chaling bagi wakhan su laitre ibung sing u di lai du lao thi hai chaling dre sa no pa ani ne leiba amado nang ko hai maningi lan da yau khramna hana di cha no ko chen dana ima chako ba hai ru na ba kholu na ba taw ni khujik ti ma lai tram ni na khoi ju lai ri ba phibam ji da kari no hai do che cha sing du na di lang ni ngam doi ni ba
ꯑꯩꯁꯨ ꯏꯆꯦ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯑꯍꯨꯝ ꯌꯥꯎꯋꯦ ꯑꯩꯁꯨ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯅꯤꯡꯉꯒꯁꯨ ꯉꯁꯤꯐꯥꯎ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯆꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯀꯩꯒꯤꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯆꯠꯄ ꯍꯥꯏꯁꯦ ꯏꯆꯦꯁꯤꯡꯁꯨ ꯀꯦꯝꯗ ꯏꯆꯦ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯌꯥꯎꯋꯤ ꯏꯅꯦꯁꯤꯡꯁꯨ ꯀꯦꯝꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯌꯥꯎꯋꯤ ꯏꯆꯦ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟꯅ ꯂꯩꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯀꯦꯝꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯏꯆꯦꯗꯨꯗ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯍꯥꯏ ꯆꯠꯀꯅꯤ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯏꯆꯦꯗꯨꯗꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯨ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯀꯩ ꯄꯤꯕ ꯉꯝꯒꯅꯤ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯒꯤ ꯑꯐꯪ ꯁꯨꯔꯒ ꯆꯥꯔꯒ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯏꯆꯦꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯈꯜꯂꯨꯕꯗ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯦ
ꯏꯆꯥꯁꯤꯡ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯨꯂꯞ ꯀꯧꯕꯗꯣ ꯐꯪꯗꯔꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯇꯤ ꯄꯨꯟꯁꯤꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯁꯨꯝ ꯂꯩꯔꯗ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯦ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯎꯄꯥꯏꯅꯣ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯇꯧꯗꯣꯏꯁꯦ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯥꯡ ꯇꯥꯛ ꯂꯣꯏꯍꯧꯔꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯈꯜꯁꯨ ꯀꯩꯁꯨꯝꯇ ꯈꯟꯕ ꯂꯩꯇꯦ ꯏꯆꯥꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯈꯜꯂꯀꯥꯟꯗꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯦ ꯅꯤꯉꯣꯜꯁꯤꯡꯅꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯂꯥꯛꯅꯤꯡꯕꯅꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯁꯤꯡ
ꯃꯄꯥꯟ ꯊꯣꯛꯑꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗꯗꯤ ꯏꯔꯪ ꯔꯪꯉꯒ ꯏꯇꯥꯎ ꯇꯥꯎꯔꯒ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕꯁꯤ ꯏꯔꯥꯡ ꯂꯩꯇꯕꯗꯧꯅ ꯃꯣꯏꯗ ꯀꯔꯤꯝ ꯈꯟꯗꯕꯗꯧꯅ ꯏꯔꯥꯡꯁꯤ ꯀꯥꯎꯈꯤꯕꯗꯧꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯎꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯐꯪꯉꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯔꯤꯂꯤꯐ ꯀꯦꯝꯞꯇ ꯆꯪꯉꯛꯄ ꯃꯇꯝꯁꯤꯗꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯏꯆꯜ ꯏꯆꯦꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤꯅ ꯃꯛꯁꯟꯅꯔꯒ ꯍꯟꯗꯛ ꯆꯍꯤꯗꯤ ꯀꯅꯥ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯈꯣꯠꯄ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯄꯟꯅꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯃꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁꯛꯇꯝꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤ ꯎꯔꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯄꯥꯟꯁꯤꯡꯗꯨ ꯎꯔꯒ ꯀꯣꯝꯄꯤꯌꯔ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯦꯟꯗꯕ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯖꯗꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯁꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯀꯥꯎꯈꯤꯕꯗꯧꯅ ꯇꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯦꯕ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯁꯦ
ꯂꯥꯟꯁꯦ ꯂꯣꯏꯗ꯭ꯔꯤꯉꯩꯗ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯀꯨꯝꯍꯩ ꯍꯔꯥꯎ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯕꯖꯥꯔꯗ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯆꯩ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯈꯣꯠꯄ ꯇꯧꯕꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯁꯨ ꯄꯨꯛꯅꯤꯡ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯦ ꯁꯨꯝꯕꯒꯤ ꯇꯧꯍꯟꯅꯤꯡꯗꯦ ꯏꯔꯥꯡꯁꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯋꯥꯈꯜꯗ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯨꯏꯌꯦ
ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯁꯤꯅ ꯋꯥꯅ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯦꯜꯂꯒ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯁꯦ ꯁꯉꯥꯏ ꯐꯦꯁꯇꯤꯚꯦꯜ ꯑꯗꯩꯗꯤ ꯆꯥꯛꯀꯧꯕ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯇꯧꯔꯦ ꯀꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯕꯁꯦ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯀꯔꯤꯅꯣ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯂꯩꯕꯗꯧꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯁꯦ ꯇꯧꯈꯠꯂꯛꯏꯁꯦ ꯇꯨꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯁꯥ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯍꯤꯡꯉꯤꯅꯦꯅ ꯇꯧꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯅꯥ ꯑꯌꯦꯛ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯛꯄ ꯀꯩꯗꯧꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯄꯨꯔꯥ ꯇꯥꯏꯌꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯨꯒ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯁꯤꯅ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ කාꯎꯕꯒꯤ ꯑꯗꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯂꯥꯟꯁꯦ ꯇꯧꯗꯕꯒꯤ ꯚꯥꯞꯂꯣꯝꯗ ꯆꯠꯈꯤꯗꯧꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯑꯣꯡ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯎꯔꯛꯄꯁꯦ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯦ.
Unlike the previous years, which was heavily impacted by the prevailing situation in Manipur, this year shows great effort to celebrate the Ningol Sakoba despite many challenges in the relief camp. But the IDPs, brothers and sisters who have been staying in the relief camp for about 2 years and 5 months are eagerly waiting the government to send back to their original home as a gift of Ningol Sakoba for this year. But we cannot predict the time when the IDPs, brothers and sisters will return back to their original home. We have to wait and watch the time. For ISTV News, I am Kumarji Wahengbam with our cameraman Jigagan Sharma reporting for you from the field in Palwe District Relief Camp.
Director of Fisheries Department T. Fulen Meitei has encouraged people to consume local fish to promote local farmers instead of imported fish which are hazardous to human health. He made the remark during the opening of the 46th Annual Fish Fair Cum Fish Crop Competition 2025 organized as part of Ningol Chakoba Festival at Hapta Kangjebung Palace Compound. A total of 136 farmers opened 141 stall at the fish fair and their target is to sell over 1.5 lakh kilogram of fish. Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur, Vivek Kumar Devgand, Commissioner of Fishery Department, Government of Manipur, Haubam Roshita, and Special Secretary Nita Arambam to grace the occasion as the main guest. Director of Fisheries Department, T. Fulen Meitei, further stated that fish and the fish product are fondly consumed by the people of Manipur, and even during ceremonies, fish are widely cooked as delicacies. As such, in order to meet Manipur daily fish consumption demand, approximately 64 metric tons of fish are required on average, he said. He continued that the department has been working closely with the farmers, providing assistance to increase the fish production in Manipur. He also spoke about the increase of sareng production for the present year as compared to last year. Prizes are also given to farmers who produce largest quantity of fish in a year, he said.
Aduga atay nga singdi akoy mamangi chahida labor rate to adung aktani adum lairise tuna yam kana akoy na changiba chamna haibda akoy gi nga maloina na bhot na bada akoy chap manana keno changi requirement je nga gi machinjak pijadaba yade nga senanaba akoy gi mi thamdaba yade aduna adum mayam singdugi sendo kaitho akanda akoy nga machinjak se mapalom nagi sum asam lom nagi import tawraga leibanina akoy da fish feed mill singe matik chana leitribanina nga gi puthorok pagi sida cost khara khara de changi ado matam gi matungina akoy tilapia dagi ukabi maman handara isini ana matam gi matungina akoy gi fish production je hengal ei gai nga gi maman su control to bonga makani.
In a message read out by Deputy Atto Kilonsar vs. Atem in connection with the historic return of the Atto Kilonsar of NSCN GPRN Twilingan Muiva after 61 years to his hometown, it was said that only implementing into action the Amsterdam Joint Community and Framework Agreement can bring solution for the Naga. In the homecoming ceremony held at TNL Ukrul ground, NSCN-IM top official, leaders of CSOs from hill and valley regions and around 20,000 people gathered to welcome NSCN-IM Supreme Th Muiva. Twingalen Muiva, who joined the armed groups known as the Naga National Council, left home in 1964, rejecting the Shillong Accord signed between the NNC and the Indian government. He said, along with Isaac G.C. Swell and S.S. Kaplang, founded the National Socialist Council of Naga on January 31, 1980. On April 30, 1988, after a split within the NSCN over signing a ceasefire agreement talk with the Indian government, S.S. Kaplang formed NSCN-K, while Isaac G.C. Swang and Twingalen Muiva formed NSCN-IM. In 1997, NSCN-IM signed a ceasefire agreement with the Indian government. On May 5, 2010, the Indian Home Minister granted permission for Th Muiva to return to Manipur. However, his visit was opposed by then Manipur government. Since 1964, Muiva had been unable to return home openly, but his visit beginning today is warmly welcomed by various organizations from both the hills and valley regions. In the recent event, as the 91-year-old Th Muiva could not speak, the Deputy Atto Kilonsar vs. Atem read out the message of the Th Muiva. In the message read out by the Atem, it was stated that the Naga issue is neither an internal matter of the India nor Myanmar. This is because if it were an internal issue of India, then talks would have taken place under the Indian constitutions involving the Prime Minister of India and not in a third neutral country. The fact that talks were held in a neutral third country signifies otherwise. One of the key outcomes of the negotiation was the signing of the Amsterdam Joint Communique on the July 11, 2002 and the Framework Agreement on the August 3, 2015. These two historic agreements officially recognize the Naga's unique history and the political status of Nagalim. The message further noted that there is no other interpretation or alternate narrative that can override this understanding. It emphasized that this recognition must be upheld and implemented in both letter and spirit, the message read. Commanding Officer CO of Group Center Langjing Imphal and Kunjarani Devi stated that Manipur's first participation in the Asian Weightlifting Championship in 1989 began from the foothills of Chairao-Ching in the Thangmaiban. She made the remarks during the installation of a new iron flag post at the second tower of Chairao-Ching, where the Salai Taret flag representing the 7 Meitei clans is hosted. The initiative was jointly organized by the Naharol Laisemba Club and Group Center Langjing Imphal. Recalling the past, Kunjarani Devi shared that when she represented Manipur at the Asian Weightlifting Championship in 1989, she was unable to raise any flag to represent her state. Seeing the flag now hosted atop the sacred hills, she said symbolically represents the identity and pride of the Meitei people. She also expressed deep pride and emotion upon seeing the flag proudly flying above Chairao-Ching.
India ki represent tawwa chapa dagi Manipur ki represent tawwa state ki championship mayam national championship mayam jida koi sada sagon ka chapa ngam gi deba ko aduna aina halaga andak chum aina chahi ama amu pare aina chingka bje sida la ko chingka bje sum chi lei bje aina ju phajaba ma gi keno dagi ai ju jam ji ki ni ko ado aina phajaba am dang kacha ge na aina khyan ji nungsi mandri katpanira.
Secretary of Naharo Laisemba Club Thangmaiban Sinam Laikai Yashobanta Maibam stated that the Salai Taret flag hosted at Cherauching was in a worn and dilapidated condition. Upon noticing this, and Kunjarani Devi, commanding officer of Group Center Langching Imphal, informed the club and took the initiative to replace it with a new flag. He expressed his heartfelt gratitude to the CO for her support and timely action. He also appealed to all visitors to trek up the hills to dispose of borders properly and help maintain the cleanliness and sanctity of the Cherauching.
Luna na ikoi puna mak singkar le ikoi samaksu adagi ikoi digi hogdana tungda karak kadaba mayam digi lekai gi ikoi bidle bidu mayam namdam tam dagi lam na kabir le mi singna yare ma kai ikoi sing si luna na thamnaba adagi hauri ba upan mapal sing si ikoi masa nungsa tiktana mapung mari phan hona bada miyam gi sojok bibi haibisi mak ikoi klok ki mai digi haijari ikoi plastic bottle sing si beng asida thada biduna ikoi na khundok chari ba sengdok chari ba sing asida hena taru tala na thamnaba hona bada miyam gi sojok bibi haibisi mak klok ki mai digi nonuk sari.
The 82nd anniversary of the establishment of the Provisional Government of Free India, Arji Hukumat-e-Azad Hind, founded by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose to overthrow British rule from Indian soil during the colonial period, was commemorated at the INA Martyrs Memorial Hall in Moirang. The program was jointly organized by the Department of Art and Culture, Government of Manipur, the INA War Museum cum Netaji Library, Moirang, and the INA Local Advisory Committee, Moirang. MLA Thongam Santi Singh and Dr. T.H. Gorabindu Singh, a member of the INA Local Advisory Committee, attended the function along with a large number of people. For the first time in the history of India, a statue of Colonel Sokat Ali Malik, who first hosted the Indian national flag at Moirang Kangla, was also unveiled at the memorial. Founder and President Paresh Kumar Nandi released a book titled The Last Fight for Freedom Moirang during the event. Also, a 104-year-old woman, a native of Thamna Pokpi, Moirang AC, who witnessed and suffered the Japanese bombing of Moirang during the INA's movement against British colonial forces. The lone survival from her family was honored during the event by the organizing committee by presenting gifts. Retired Principal O. Gorvardhan of a CC Higher Secondary School donated rare and valuable books, documents and records related to INA and Netaji to the INA War Museum cum Library in Moirang. The speaker spoke about Netaji, the founder of the Provisional Government of Free India, as well as the Colonel Sokat Ali Malik. During the program, MLA T.A. Santi acknowledged the significant contribution of the Meitei Pangal Manipuri Muslim community in the Japanese war, especially highlighting Naki Ahmad Chaudhry, who is believed to have assisted Colonel Sokat Ali Malik, who commanded the Bahadur group of the INA. He urged the Meitei Pangals to research more about Naki Ahmad Chaudhry and honor his legacy. The MSc Psychiatric Nursing Department of the College of Nursing Medical Directorate, in collaboration with the State Tele, Manas Celt, Manipur and Yaol, the Youth Network, organized a one-day mental health awareness and counseling program at the multipurpose hall of the College of Nursing Medical Directorate. During the program, Dr. A. Ranita Devi, State Nodal Officer of the National Mental Health Program, T.H. Jogabati Devi, Assistant Professor of Head of Department of Mental Health Nursing Medical Directorate Lamfelpat, Dr. Karishma Yumnam, Clinical Psychologist from the State Tele Manas Cell Manipur, and Naurem Bija Lakshmi, counselor from Yaol, the Youth Network, were present as the main guests. The program began with Dr. Karishma Yumnam conducting a psychometric assessment, followed by an ice-breaking activity led by Naurem Bija Lakshmi. Additionally, Karam Sangita, a psychiatric nurse, conducted a counseling session during the event. In the national news, we have the Ministry of Civil Aviation announced that the Regional Connectivity Scheme UDAN has facilitated over 1.56 crore passengers through 3.23 lakh flights since its launch on October 21, 2016. Celebrating its 9th anniversary, Civil Aviation Secretary Samir Kumar Sinha highlighted Udhan's role in making air travel affordable and accessible, with plans to extend the scheme beyond April 2027 under an expanded Udhan framework focusing on hilly, northeastern and aspirational regions. So far, 649 routes connecting 93 underserved airports, including heliports and water aerodromes, have been operationalized, supported by over rupees 4,300 crore in viability gap funding and rupees 4,638 crore in airport development. The government has also introduced guidelines for Shri Plan's operation and launched Udhan 5.5, issuing letters of intent for 150 routes across 30 water aerodromes. In the international news, we have North Korea fired multiple short-range ballistic missiles today from Jongwa in North Honghae province, with the projectile traveling approximately 350 kilometers, according to South Korea Joint Chief of Staff. The launches come just days ahead of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in South Korea and a planned visit by U.S. President Donald Trump, raising concern about escalating provocation as Pyongyang continues its push for recognition as a nuclear power. Both Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping are expected to attend the summit beginning on October 31st in Seoul. In response, South Korea has heightened its monitoring and it's closely coordinating with the United States and Japan. China's National Observatory has issued a yellow alert for Typhoon Fangshan as it approaches the southern coastal region, bringing strong winds and heavy rainfall. According to the National Meteorological Center, Fangshan was located approximately 170 kilometers west-northwest of the Yongqing-dao in the South China Sea this morning, with maximum wind speeds reaching 33 meters per second. The typhoon is moving southwest at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour and is expected to gradually weaken. However, heavy rainfall is forecast for parts of the Hainan and Taiwan. Fangshan is projected to make landfall in central Vietnam as a tropical storm tomorrow, potentially causing flooding, landslides and flash flood. Authorities in Vietnam and Laos have issued warnings and urge residents to take necessary precaution as the storm moves inland. And with that, before we close the headlines, once again. Shocking that Congress party is being blamed for Manipur conflict, says MPCC President K. Meghachandra. As the long-awaited Ningol Chakoba approaches, women in relief camps are filled with sadness and regret. And Fisheries Director urges public to choose local fish over hazardous imports to support farmers. Well, that was all we have in today's afternoon English News Bulletins. We'll be back with more updates. Stay tuned. Thank you for joining with us.